finds you in good health and spirit. Welcome to the Wholly Healthy Show with me, Charity Gordons. Now, this being the first episode that we are having for the Wholly Healthy Show, with me in studio is none other than Mr. James Murugu, who is a registered pharmaceutical technologist, I beg your pardon, or in other words, Pharmtex. Thank you very much, Mr. James Murugu.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we are so happy to have you with us today.
Yes.
Yes. We are talking about health. Maybe you can start by telling us your definition of health, or what is health in general.
First, I would like to appreciate the fact that I'm here as your guest. And straight to the point is that we are going to discuss the issue of health. And as per your question is what health entails. Yes. As per my understanding and as from the definition of health is the well-being. The well-being of could be our health, our psychological status, our social status. That is all about health, well-being. But now when we come to the context of our discussion this day about health, that one now shifts us to our physical well-being. Yeah.
That's a very great definition. So when we talk about health, Mr. James, health, I know health is a very wide word, and there have to be categories or maybe different types of health. Yeah, can you please take us through the categories of health?
Well, as we've said, the physical well-being, health, basically, we categorize it in, we have the physical health, that is the physical well-being of our health. We also have the psychological health. Psychological health is that, is the mental, is the well-being of our mental ability to act in a normal way, whereby like what I'm trying to bring out is our psychostatus is at the normal way we are supposed to be behaving in a certain way. And this one I also associate it with our social well-being, because our social life is all about the psychological functioning of our mind. In that context, we can just say the psychological health and social health is the well-being in our social status. Then we also have the physical health. The physical health is where we've said it is the physical well-being. And the physical well-being we are talking about here is our body organs, and all parameters are in a normal state of well-being. Like for example, we just go to the simple basics that we've even learned in school in biology, whereby your heart is functioning as per it's supposed to, your blood pressure is okay, your blood sugar levels, all those parameters are at a normal state. Also, we cannot discuss health without also going beyond the physical well-being. We also have the spiritual health. That is our beliefs and our spiritual well-being. This one I will put it in the context of Christianity, is that when you are at spiritual peace, that is what we can call the spiritual health. We also have financial health. That is when our financial status, the health in our finances is as per our wish, whereby we are able to meet our obligations financially. Yes.
Oh, so those are the categories that we have when it comes to health.
Yes, when it comes to health, we have, I'm sure we have more beyond what we've mentioned, but in our context of health, we narrow ourselves down to the physical health and also the psychological health and the social health. Basically, those are the two key health factors that we are going to take. And under the physical health is now whereby we consider our bodies functioning, and for us, taking care of our bodies, keeping them away from diseases, and basically maintaining the physical health as we are supposed to. Psychological is ensuring that we are at a normal state. So, and basically we know that we normally say when someone is not in a proper psychological state, that's That's now when we talk of someone being insane. And so the health, we narrow down ourselves, is the physical and psychological health.
Oh, that's great. Let's talk about physical health, as you have put it. This show mainly we're going to be talking about physical health, all kinds of diseases, symptoms, and one thing, you're in the health board. I've known you for quite some time, being in the health board. What maybe you can take us through what exactly you do at the health board, or please take us through that.
Well, from my Christian background, I'm a Presbyterian. I'm from PCA Bahati Matias Church, and despite being in church whereby your spiritual needs are met, we normally say, without the physical health, all these other healths we've discussed about, they cannot be met. So like being in church and serving in the health board, we normally say for us, we deal with our physical health matters. So in that context, being a pharmaceutical technologist, that's a cadre in the health education, in the health system, that is. So in the health system, we have the doctors, medical doctors, we have consultants, we have pharmaceutical technologists, we have pharmacists, nurses, and all these cadres have the different responsibilities. And there are now those general aspects, the general care of health that all these cadres would take care. And like for me, being in health board, we normally do those basics, ensuring that we ensure we check blood sugars, blood pressures, we check weight, and above all, we advise people medically on what to do depending on the various challenges and complaints they could be having on health issues.
Mm-hmm. There are people who may not be knowing the importance of good health. Yes. Please tell us.
Importance of good health, as we normally say, health is wealth. The greatest wealth we can ever talk about in this life is not in monetary form or in any other form, but the thing called health. And at times, we are living in a society whereby people take health for granted. And by this, I mean that people are not serious with taking care of their health. May it be eating habits, may it be what they are consuming in form of drugs. People are not keen on what they are taking and how they are using and misusing their bodies at the expense of their health. And basically, what we need to enlighten the society is, once you take care of your body, once you take care of your health, the rest follows. As you know, when one is healthy, the productivity becomes efficient. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. That is very good. Maybe can we talk about different, of course there are different groups of the foods that we are supposed to eat. We have the carbohydrates, we have protective foods, we have all those kinds of foods. Maybe you can take us through somebody who would want to have a balanced diet. Take us through the kinds of foods that they're supposed to consume or rather to eat.
Well, when it comes to eating habits, actually, when it comes to the parameters that enhance good health, eating habits is the first thing. And from your question, I take ourselves even back as we were growing in primary school. I remember even from lower primary, there are those basics we used to learn about what a balanced diet is all about. And the reason why these things are even taught in school, so that as a human being grows, as a child grows, they will be knowing really what to take so that to maintain the health of their body. And I will take it as we were taught basically that a balanced diet is essential for our well-being. Here we are talking about the balanced diet. We are talking about here is the vitamins. And you know that vitamins are the nutrients that are responsible for our body immunity and protective. I remember we used to call them protective foods.
Yeah, right.
And when we talk about protective foods, here we are talking about mostly fruits and greens. And those are the foods that enhance the soldiers in our bodies. The same way in the society we need protection is the same way our bodies would need protection. When you go to the other category of foods, we have the carbohydrates. The carbohydrates, as we used to call them, the energy-giving foods. And mostly the carbohydrates are extracted from those starchy foods, potatoes, we have wheat meal, the grains. Those are the foods that give our bodies the energy. And the energy we are talking about here is our day-to-day running of the body is supported by this energy foods. We talk of the sugars, we talk of those wheat products, starch. Those are like potatoes, ugali. Those are the foods that provide energy in our bodies. And the energy we are talking about here is not just the physical energy to move from one place to another. No, we're also talking even about the brain functioning. And I would give an example of the brain functioning, and we all know about like the blood sugars. The blood sugars levels, the sugars in the blood are the ones that supply the brain with the energy. And that's why like someone, if you are hungry, your body goes in a week, the way you say, someone becomes fatigued, you just feel you are tired, you cannot be able to work. That happens when you are hungry. Simply, number one, not because the stomach is empty, but simply because the brain has no energy to perform as it's supposed to perform. So those are the carbohydrates. The other category of food is the proteins. The proteins, we call them bodybuilders. Yes, the bodybuilder. So number one, we talked about the preventive, we also talked about the energy, and now we are talking about the bodybuilders. We all know that our bodies have a mechanism of replacing the cell, the tissues, every now and then for the growth and also for the repairing. So that's why you see when you have a wound, when you have a wound, that wound entails some nutrients so that it may heal to recovery. So here we are talking about the proteins, and mostly the proteins are sources we get from like food, animals, mostly animal products. And we are talking about fish, chicken, pork, beef. All those nutrients are the ones responsible. We also have proteins from plant sources. Those are food like beans. We have peas. So mostly those we have groundnuts. Those are protein food, and as we've said, proteins are responsible for the bodybuilding. We also have other body supplements like the fats, which are responsible also for bodybuilding and also for oils in the body. So we can say vitamins, proteins, carbohydrates, and also fats. Though we still have those other nutrients, the dietary supplements we talk of, the ions in the body, those elements that also support the body in development.
Okay. I was doing research the other day, and I realized that so many people are obsessed with their weight. You know, sometimes people think that when you eat breakfast, you take your lunch, you take your supper, you're adding some kilos to your body, but little do they know that what you eat is what matters most. Maybe tell us, if somebody skips breakfast, maybe they're trying to lose weight, and they happen to skip breakfast and then have a very heavy lunch or a very heavy dinner, are they concentrating on what's supposed to be there, or?
Well, that's a very good question, and that is a perception with people in the society.
Exactly.
Most people out there, they believe that skipping a meal is you are trying to reduce some weight. And what happens is you find someone, yes, you've skipped that breakfast, But now you decide that when you are taking the next meal, remember you are like, I'm not taking breakfast. So you forget that what is more important is working smart on your body, not working hard on your body. So you find this person has not taken breakfast, but the moment they go sit down and eat, they will eat a lot of junks, they will eat a lot of proteins. They will not be careful on what they are eating. They will only concentrate on skipping meals, but not what they are taking. Mm-hmm. And that is a wrong perception most people have in the society. So you find you end up eating foods or taking drinks that instead they'll enhance adding weight, but they'll not help you in reducing. Then the other thing concerning weight, you find you are just taking and there's nothing physical you are doing about it.
Right.
Yes.
All right, viewers, we are going to go on a short commercial break, so don't change the channel. You're watching the Wholly Healthy Show with me, Charity Gordon.